I got like really bad allergies all the time. Okay, good. And you can't see my leggings.
I just saw it. You're a liar.
Yeah, you just saw it.
You're a liar and you're not that tall.
You're a liar and you're not really that tall. You're pretty average height though.
I'm average. I'm not like 4'9".
4'9" would be ridiculous.
5'3". I think that's.
5'3" I think is average.
If I wore like 4-inch heels, that makes me what? 5'7".
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Approaching the manlet height.
That's true.
The range.
See, manlet's 5'7".
I thought we determined.
Like the guy at the gym today, he was a manlet. Yes.
What was the cutoff? I already forgot.
Grant said it was under 6 feet, which I think is absurd.
No.
Okay.
I also
say that because it's 6'3".
I know, right?
I think anything under 5'9" is, well, my dad's 5'8". He's not a manlet.
I think under 5'7". I think, but here's the thing, manlet's also a mindset. Like I have a friend who's 5'6".
Short king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude you were talking about today, total manlet.
That was a manlet.
Yeah.
He was a, gosh, that dude, he had so much energy.
Manlet energy.
He did. He was like on a roll. 90. I've worked out 3 days in a row so far.
Dang.
Remember? Because we got to go hard all 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then Monday we rest like Jesus. Yeah, Monday we rest. Honestly though, Tuesdays I'm trying to make it to the gym. That way I don't feel that guilty.
Well, even on Tuesdays, just like walk around the complex or something a couple times. It'll be fine, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just some type of physical activity.
Yeah, make that like your cardio.
Yeah, but yeah, I got to do that on Tuesdays. And then Wednesdays, forget it. It's my Friday. I'm just like, no folks. And then all over again, 4 days. I ran the other day. And it felt good. I'm over on 2, right? We're starting at 2. Yeah, it felt amazing because I get that runner's high. Oh.
From KVOA, investigating for you, this is News 4 Tucson.
Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Angelique Lizardi. Well, thousands of people across the country and right here in Tucson turned out today to rally for reproductive rights. News 4 Tucson, Shelley Jackson has more on today's Paint Broadway Blue event.
Saturday's rally is part of the Women's Wave Day of Action. Folks are demonstrating for reproductive rights and urging people to vote for those candidates who support them.
Show me what community looks like.
I'm trying to encourage everyone, independents, Democrats, Republicans, whatever stripe you are, to vote against anything where the government interferes and takes over your rights.
Midterm elections could determine the future of abortion rights in many states, as well as which party will control Congress.
I think the rest of us have just got to stand up at the polls and fix it.
Decked in blue, protesters in Tucson lined Broadway Boulevard from Houghton Road to downtown.
Abortion rights are human rights.
In 1965, I had an illegal abortion, and I don't want any young women to go through that experience.
On Friday, abortion rights were restored in Arizona when the Arizona Court of Appeals granted an emergency stay of the 1864 near-total abortion ban reinstated last month.
Every little bit helps, but they ought to get rid of the whole thing.
For now, an Arizona court will decide the future of abortion in the state, but protesters are urging folks to turn up on November 8th.
Just vote. It's like an easy step, and it helps us so much. And it pushes us so far if you just vote.
11,000 people were expected to participate in the more than 380 marches across all 50 states. In the studio, Shelley Jackson, News 4 Tucson.
Well, following Arizona Court of Appeals emergency stay of the 1864 near total abortion ban, the Arizona Attorney General's office is releasing a statement saying, quote, "Our office understands this is an emotional issue and we will carefully review the court's ruling before determining the next step," end quote. And right now we do have details on a shooting that happened on the south side. Detectives are now investigating Friday's fatal shooting. Tucson police say that 22-year-old Marcos Nino was shot near 6th Avenue and Benson Highway. Now, detectives tell us that Nino was driving north on 6th when he was hit by gunfire. Now, this caused him to swerve off of the road into a guardrail, and fire officials pronounced him dead at the scene. Police have no suspects at this time, but make sure to stay with us for the latest details. And tonight, one man is dead after a shooting in central Tucson. Officials say late Friday night, police arrived near the intersection of 4th Avenue and 6th Street to find a man with gunshot wounds. Detectives say 32-year-old Elias Cordova was arguing with another man in a nearby bar. The two then started to fight in the parking lot. Well, that fight led to that other man shooting Cordova. Cordova was taken to the hospital where he later died. And we have the latest on a kidnapping on the south side. Pima County sheriffs are currently searching for a suspected kidnapper. Now, officials say Friday afternoon, Pima County sheriff's deputies responded to reports of a 7-year-old child in distress. Now, they arrived near Nogales Highway and Aerospace Parkway, where they spoke to that young girl. Now, she reported being abducted near her home by a man in a vehicle and was released shortly later. Thankfully, officials say she was not injured. Daniel.
Pretty active earlier today. We had a few stronger thunderstorms and actually one severe thunderstorm warning that popped up near Sierra Vista. But as far as right now is concerned, things have really calmed down. What you're seeing around Tucson is just going to be a tad bit of radar scattering. The only spot we have actually any kind of rain at all is just over towards the east of Bowie, and we'll take a closer look at that in just a second. But we have to talk about these temperatures first because they're fantastic out there. Upper 60s for a lot of us. If you're in Sabino Canyon, already down to 61 degrees. Davis-Monthan, you're looking at 67, and down towards the south, Nogales at 56, Tombstone at 52, and Angelique, would you believe it? We already have Sonoyta at 49 degrees, so we're expecting cooler temperatures here, so maybe they can get down to the lower 40s by tonight. We'll keep an eye on it.
Oh, that's incredible. I am looking forward to these temperatures. All right, Daniel, thank you so much. Well, coming up next on News 4 Tucson at 10, new developments in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Plus, News 4 Tucson's Paul Cicala brings you the latest in Wildcat football. Stick around. We're back after the break.
Investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson. You're watching News 4 Tucson, live at 10, with Angelique Lizardi, meteorologist Daniel McFarland, and sports with David Kelly. News 4 Tucson, investigating for you.
And welcome back. Well, 3 people are dead after a bridge explosion in Crimea. Now, the blast also caused parts of Europe's longest bridge to collapse. You can see in these photos right here that fuel trucks and trains engulfed in flames on the Kerch Strait Bridge. Now, this bridge is the only one connecting annexed Crimea to the Russian mainland. Now, Russian officials say a fuel truck exploded, but the cause is still unclear. Top Russian officials are blaming this attack on Ukraine, which has not formally taken credit for the blast. Well, ExxonMobil has been ordered to reinstate 2 scientists who were fired for allegedly leaking information to the media. A federal whistleblower investigation found the energy giant terminated the 2 scientists illegally back in late 2020. Now, the 2 unidentified employees were allegedly suspected of providing company data to the Wall Street Journal. Last year, the Journal reported that ExxonMobil might have inflated the value of its oil and gas wells in Texas. The oil and gas giant was ordered to pay $800,000 in back wages, interest, and damages to the 2 employees. We're back with weather after the break.
Yeah.
Get on your mark.
Trying. Yeah, it does. I was fidgeting with the wires, and you did.
All right, time to talk weather with News 4 Tucson Daniel McFarland. And we're talking temperatures that just keep dropping and dropping. I'm getting excited. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, lots of people that love fall are going to absolutely love what's going on right now.
It's feeling like fall, that's for sure.
Yeah, early outside, even around 5, 6 o'clock, it was feeling very chilly out there. A lot of us had temperatures in the 60s at that point in time, and as of right now, Tucson is sitting back at 69 degrees with humidity right at 51%. And if your brightness is turned up, you're also going to have those clouds in the background. That's going to be holding in just a little bit of that heat. That's typically what we see during summer, but it has that same effect even this time of year. Also notice we still have a southeast wind that is monsoon type winds coming that could be bringing us some smaller rain chances. But again, we're out of the monsoon right now, but we're still looking at some smaller rain chances as we get into the day tomorrow. Let's go ahead and check out that one area we were tracking before, just on over towards the east of Bowie. And what I want to look for over here is any kind of thunderstorm development at all. We did have some earlier today, but it looks like as of right now, this storm right here is just going to be a little bit of rain moving on through. So if we check out the height of this, you can see it's barely about 15,000 feet across the whole area. So that tells me there's likely not even a whole lot of heavy rain moving through. It's likely just going to be some light rain, drizzle. Maybe that's going to be about it. And for the rest of us, this is just going to be some radar interference. So we're looking pretty good on the radar as of right now. And we did have a handful of flood advisories earlier. Those have now just about cleared up for everyone. So let's talk about tomorrow, because I do think that's going to be another similar day to the rain like we saw today. Starting off, though, in the morning, if you're up around 8, 9 o'clock, something like that, you're looking at humid conditions out there. It's not until, say, 1 or 2 that we start to see some thunderstorms popping up. Nothing severe is going to be expected for that first round, but I do think if we have any kind of severe weather, your time to watch out for is going to be between about 2 and 4. Kind of like what we had today, but again, maybe 1 or 2 severe thunderstorms if we're lucky. Most of what we're expecting out there is just going to be some light showers passing us by. Those temperatures need to be a tad bit warmer for any kind of thunderstorm development, and it's not going to get warmer for your day tomorrow. And as we get into Monday, things are going to be drying out quite a bit at that point in time. In fact, I only have a 10% chance of rain for your Monday, 30 for Sunday. After that, getting very dry into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and pretty consistent with those temperatures. So 84 for tomorrow. We're still looking at, I think, the mid 80s for both Monday and Tuesday. Maybe 88, maybe 87 by Thursday and Friday. That's the warmest I can see us getting over the next week. There might be a couple spots that reach 90 degrees, but it won't be lasting too long at all. We'll need to get a tad bit drier in order for that to happen out there. But nothing but sunshine out there for the next 7 days. But I know one spot that wasn't full of sunshine earlier today, Paul, and I'm sure you're going to tell us a little bit more about that game, aren't you?
Yeah, not a sunny ending for the Wildcats. Sports is back in the mix. How's your energy, Southern Arizona? Good evening to you. I'm Paul Cicala. David Kelly has the weekend off. As an Arizona Wildcat fan, you were undoubtedly licking your chops for tonight's game against 12th-ranked Oregon. It was a sellout at Arizona Stadium for the first time since 2015. Could the Wildcats pull off the monumental upset? Well, first, the Arizona community would pay tribute to Thomas Meixner, the professor who was murdered on campus earlier in the week, with a moment of silence. And early on in the game, the Wildcats came out strong. Jaden DeLaura will find Jacob Cowing to get Arizona into scoring position. Nice catch and throw. And just as you think the Cats are about to take a 7-0 lead, fumble on the exchange. Oregon recovers. Tough break. After that, the Ducks will bust out with a 55-yard run straight to the end zone. We'll speed it up to save some time for you. Just like that, the Ducks lead 7-3. Into the second quarter we go, and Oregon quarterback Bo Nix will push it in to put Oregon up 14-3. The Ducks will get the ball after that, and Molokai Matavao will take it into the end zone as the Wildcats will trail 21-3. But there is no quit with Arizona, as DJ Williams is no necessarily quick, but he is Speedy Gonzalez. Ándale, ándale, ándale. 52 yards later, the score's cut to 21-10. Oregon would score again to make it 28-10 in the second quarter, but with under 30 seconds left in the half for Arizona, Jonah Coleman is breaking off. A little something, something. That, folks, is a 43-yard run. It helps Arizona get a late field goal to cut the lead to 28-13 at the half. And into the second half we go. Oregon exploded in the third quarter to put the game out of reach and lead 49-13 going into the fourth. So we'll show you some positivity from Arizona as Oregon took its foot off the gas like this. Jaden DeLaura at QB. It's a touchdown pass to T-Mac to cut the lead to 49-22. But in the end, Arizona falls to 3-3 on the season after the 49-22 loss to mighty Oregon. Hey, post-game interviews are still going on for the Arizona Wildcats at Arizona Stadium. We will have more with them tomorrow and full breakdowns on News 4 Tucson at 10 p.m. Next up for the Arizona Wildcats, a showdown in Washington at 2:30 p.m. next Saturday. And we're far from over with. After the break, more sports. A former Arizona Wildcats standout catcher, Cesar Salazar, living his dream as a pro baseball player in the Houston Astros system, and he's playing winter ball in the Pro Mexican League with Hermosillo. And Naranjeros suit up against the Obregon Yaquis tonight, and Sunday I'll catch up with him and much more next. Hey, sports is back in the mix. How's your energy, Southern Arizona? Welcome back, my friends. I'm Paul Cicala. David Kelly has the weekend off. The Mexican baseball fiestas continue strong at Kino Stadium as we speak, and tonight it was a packed house with rivals Yaquis-Naranjeros taking on the Obregon Yaquis. And hey, it's no secret, Mexican League baseball teams here like Hermosillo, Navajo, Mexicali, and Obregon, they are very popular with the tens of thousands of Tucsonans who have historical ties and family on both sides of the border. And that includes former Sahuaro High School standout Cesar Salazar, who recently suited up in an exhibition game against his old team, the U of A, in a 6-6 tie at Kino Stadium. I caught up with Cesar Salazar, who's currently in the Houston Astros organization and playing winter ball in Mexico with the Hermosillo Naranjeros.
Describe how there's a lot of Americans, and people don't realize there's a lot of Americans or people that have played ball here in the United States that play in the professional Mexican leagues, including Hermosillo, just like yourself. Describe the opportunities in winter ball, especially that affords some of these players.
Yeah, it's a special league. You know, it's the best of the best in Mexico. Teams here don't mess around. They bring in the best Americans or the best foreigners they can get. You know, this league is very prestige. There's scouts looking at the games every day, and it's definitely an opportunity. And I've seen some guys take really good advantage of it.
Just like you, my friend. Hey, should be fun on Sunday. And after the Hermosillo Obregon rivalry game at 5 p.m., there'll be a free concert by the popular group La Brisa. Meanwhile, in college football, former South Bend High School standout Bijan Robinson had a big game in the Red River rivalry between Texas and Oklahoma this morning. The proud Tucson native is a Heisman candidate and showed why in the 49-0 rout over Texas, or for Texas rather, over bitter rival Oklahoma. Bijan would set the tone with the first touchdown of the game, right where you just saw it, and then the former South Bend High School standout would bust out with 130 yards rushing on the day with 2 touchdowns. He also had another touchdown receiving. Bijan Robinson averaged 6 yards per carry and also chipped in with 2 receptions. Definitely represented Tucson strong. Also represented Tucson in Santa Cruz County, Jeff Skurin. It is no secret the coach has taken over the Rio Rico football team and has gotten them into the winning column twice this young season. This after Rio Rico went winless, 0-10 the year before. Legendary coach Jeff Skurin has made a career out of taking previously winless teams and turning them into contenders and oftentimes champs the following year. He's taken over the Rio Rico football program this year, and get this, Rio Rico knocked off an Empire High School team that had won 3 of their 4 games in shutout fashion. It's a big win for the boys from Santa Cruz County, 23-0. We have more on last night's other big games from the Friday Football Fever on KVOA.com and our KVOA YouTube site. That's it for now. I'm Paul Cicala. We'll be right back.